Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you on here, and I hope you guys can try these mandalas and have a fun time doing it. So before we get started on the mandala design, I'm going to explain our tools. So the tools I use are color-coded, so they have a color on the top of the tools. When you buy them off of Temu or Amazon, they usually just come clear. So first off, for the twirly tools, I do not use the green twirly for any of my tutorials, so you can set this one aside. As for the rods, the largest two rods, I, again, also do not use for any of my tutorials, but if you're doing like a bigger project on your own time, then of course you can use these. So now to help you understand what I have color-coded, you can lay them out biggest to smallest. The biggest one, which is the green one, next size down, we have it marked as the blue stick. And then next size down after the blue is the white stick. After the white stick, it's the yellow stick. And then we have the pink stick. And then last but not least, trying to pick them up, is the black stick. And then of course we have the twirlies. These are self-explanatory. They are color-coded already. You can color code them yourself. We use just nail polish on the tops of the tools. We can get started with the design now. These are the colors we're going to be using for today's project. Paint color number 1 is Deco Art Americana Snow Titanium White. Paint color number 2 is Deco Art Americana Carousel Pink. Paint color 3 is Cadmium Yellow. Paint color number 4 is Craft Smart Pool Blue. Paint color number 5 is Deco Art Americana Canyon Orange. Color number 6 is Craft Smart Orange. Color 7 is Craft Smart Green. And color number 8 is Craft Smart Olive Green. And you'll also need just a tiny bit of black acrylic paint. Okay, so before we get started on the gnome, we're just going to practice a few things that we're going to use and paint on the gnome. So I'm using a separate sheet of paper. You guys can use your placemat, upper right hand or left hand corner, and then just open up to a paint color that will be visible on the sheet of paper. Okay, so the first thing we are going to practice is making that little carrot shape that we're going to use. So we're going to use the pink stick and the pink stylus. So you're going to dip the pink stick into the paint, place a dot, and then with the pink stylus bigger end, you're going to drag the paint straight down, but then you want to make sure you smooth out the sides.
Did you say the bigger end on the
Yes, the bigger end. And we're going to smooth out the sides into like a very chunky teardrop. Okay, moving on, we're going to practice making this little garland that we're going to do all the way around the hat. So we're going to use the white stylus and the cookie scriber. We're going to use the white stylus bigger end. And we're going to place a couple dots in a row, making sure to leave room in between. Then you take the cookie scriber and just the tip, and you're going to drag out a little paint. I like to do a little bit from both dots meeting towards the center, because if you try to do it like this, you see how it's usually bigger on one side and then it like almost is poking the other dot, so we want to kind of even that out a little bit. So I like to drag paint from both dots and meet in the center. Okay, and the last thing we're going to practice are these swirlies that we're going to do all over the beard. We're going to use the pink stylus bigger end, and you're just going to swirl the paint around in like S shapes, C shapes, like W, but the point of this exercise is to try to kind of fit them all in a way like you're building a puzzle. So it doesn't really matter the swirl shapes you do, but you just want to get a feel of kind of putting it together like a little puzzle piece so they all fit nicely together. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on the gnome now. The first thing that we are gonna do is the little bunny face on the hat of the gnome. So we're going to use the blue stick and the white stylus and paint color 1. So we're gonna use the blue stick first. You'll dip it into the paint, and we are going to place a dot right in between the nose and where the arm starts. So somewhere in this area right here. And you're just going to place a dot right next to the edge of the hat. So this is the head of the bunny. Then with the white stylus, we're gonna make the ears. So you can make them both going straight up or both floppy. I'm gonna do one straight up and the other one kind of bent down. So you're gonna start.
Big end of the white one?
Yes, big end. So you're gonna start a little ways out and then go in towards the head. And then for the bent one, gonna start this and then you'll bend it down.
Do you mind turning your sample, putting it over here we can see it?
Yeah, I can put it up like this.
Oh, that's
Okay, next we're going to do these 2 carrots on the beard of the gnome. We're gonna use the yellow stick, pink stick, and the pink stylus. And we're gonna use paint color 5.
5?
Yeah. So the bigger carrot is done with the yellow stick. So we're doing this a little off to the side on the beard. And then you'll draw it out with the pink stylus like we practiced.
Wait.
Okay, moving on, we're going to color in the little arms and sleeves of the gnome. So for the glove part, you're gonna use paint color 7. For this little cuff, we're gonna use paint color 2. And for the sleeve, it's gonna be paint color 3. And we're gonna do this with the white stylus bigger end. You're just going to dip your tool into the paint and just color in that section. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is the garland of dots around the hat. So we're gonna use the white stylus and the cookie scriber. And using paint color 1. So I would recommend only putting like 3 or 4 dots at a time and then connecting them and then placing another 3 or 4 dots, because the edges of the dots can dry and then it's hard to move the paint to connect the dots. The bigger end. So you're just going to follow that chalk line that I have drawn for you all the way around the hat. For the next step, we're going to be doing the carrots on the on the hat. Oh, sorry. So we're going to use the pink stick and the pink stylus. With paint color 5. And like we practiced, you'll place a dot with the pink stick and then shape it out with the pink stylus and then just disperse them around the hat. For the next step, we're just gonna add the little green leaves to our carrots. So we're gonna use the paint color 8 and the yellow stylus, smaller end. And you wanna make sure you get a little bit of paint on your tool, so just the tip, and you're just going to kind of drag inwards. I like to do about 5 little leaves like that.
I'm always behind it, so I will. Lower down. I catch up. Go right back. Somebody else. Enjoy it. It's fun.
Okay, next step, we are going to fill up the rest of the hat with these little colorful dots. So we're going to use paint colors 2, 3, and 4. And the pink stylus bigger end. And you're just going to randomly disperse these 3 colors just all the way around the hat. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on the beard of the gnome. So we're going to do the little leaves on the carrots first. The reason we didn't do this the same with the carrots on the hat is because I wanted to use a lighter color, because the darker color is a little hard to see on the black. So we're gonna use paint color 7 with the pink stylus, smaller end, to do the leaves for the carrots on the beard. And then we're gonna use the same tool, the pink stylus, smaller end, to do the swirlies on the beard. then with the white paint and that same tool, the pink stylus smaller end, we're going to do the swirlies for the beard. And then once and don't forget to do the little section of hair in the back as well. And then we'll come back and we'll do the little dots in between the swirlies. So try not to compact it too much because we still want to go in and put little dots later.
It has a lot of leaves.
Once you've got all those swirlies done on the beard and on the back portion of the hair, you're gonna go in with the yellow stylus, smaller end, and with paint colors 2, 3, and 4, and just add in the little dots in between the swirlies, both on the beard and on the back portion of the hair. Okay, next step, we're going to do the body of the gnome. We're going to use paint colors 2, 3, 4, and 7. So we're going to use mostly paint color 7, and then less of paint colors 2, 3, and 4. You can use the white stick as the biggest tool, and then you can go all the way down to the pink stylus. So just start with a bigger tool, place dots, and then move down to a smaller tool, and just keep doing that until it's all filled up. So I'm going to place most of the green dots right now, then I'll go in and place some of 2, 3, and 4, and then just go back and forth like that, filling it up as much as I can.
Stays in touch with Tori. TJ.
Adrian, that's what she drove all the way from New Mexico to Chicago.
In that ugly car.
And that she, ugly car, the first ugly car was 4 years old.
I still love you.
Yeah, I think that thing went.
That's good.
That's what she wrote.
Okay, so now we're going to go around and do the final little finishing details. So we're going to do the face of the bunny first. So we're going to use the yellow stylus with the paint color 2 and the black paint. So the black paint should be in between you and a partner, so you guys might have to share. You will have to share. Share, everybody. So first we're going to do the ears of the bunny with paint color 2. We're going to use the bigger end of the yellow stylus. And you're just going to follow the inside shape of the ears that we did. And then you'll use that same side of the yellow stylus. You'll dip into the black paint and make 2 eyes for the bunny.
You said the big end?
Yes. Then you'll switch to the smaller end, and you want to get just the very tip because we want to make this a nice fine little line. And you're going to give it a little smiley. And then again with the smaller end, you'll dip into the pink paint and give your bunny a nose. And then the final little details we're gonna do are the little marks on the carrots. So we're gonna use paint color 6 and the smaller end of the yellow stylus. Again, you wanna dip just the tip because we don't wanna get too much paint. And you're just from side to side gonna do a little drag from the carrot. Some shorter, some a little longer. And we're gonna do these on all the carrots on the beard and the ones on the hat. And this is the final step, so once you guys have finished this, you guys are all done with your gnome.
Except for people that didn't come back to finish other parts.
That would be me.